write and be sad. Sometimes at the same time, even.
You know what? That's relatable.
You guys hear okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Cool.
You just clicked out of the app?
Yes, I
That-
just clicked out of
okay,
it so
there
I
it
could
is.
do other
Okay.
things.
I was breaking the law. I was looking at paper.
Shame on you being so illegal.
I know.
Man, imagine being in the first streams chat when we're not streaming. Couldn't be me.
Yeah. Definitely not Yosh, the most law-abiding citizen of us all here.
I can't believe Yosh stayed in the first stream chat for an extra X-teen hours. So illegal, oh my god.
I know.
How dare you die in the middle of a stream?
I was legit worried you died,
Motherfucker.
dude. I mean, I guess technically you did, but I was
I
legit
mean,
worried.
I was about to.
Yeah. Well, good to know that Yosh is human like the rest of us, and even on the brink of death, sometimes we'll make a mistake. Fun. Okay.
I think you mean it's only on the brink of death that he'll make a mistake.
Well, yeah, guys, that's fair, yeah. Okay, so we're all live, everything's posted, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop into this since we don't have a ton of time today, since you got early right at 2. I want to get into as much as this as possible, so let's do this.
Do you remember what we did the last time? It was only like a couple weeks ago.
Only.
Sorry, I'm muted because I'm eating a popcorn snack.
A delicious popcorn snack.
Yeah, I remember what we did last time.
Okie-dokie.
I solved the box puzzle.
Yeah, you
like
did.
Yeah, hell yeah, you did.
Hell yeah.
I should have had more faith.
We all should have. We were all like, eh.
What
Yosh
is that
wasn't.
gif?
Possibly sarcastically. But Yosh...
What is that gif?
What gif?
The one on Twitter.
Listen, there's not that many Zero Escape gifts out here, so I had to do what I could. And that's one that has been coming up every time I type in Zero Escape, and I decided to finally go with it, so
Who's the us? I want to be us? What the fuck? Who's the us?
I don't know, it just cracks me up. Okay, I don't remember where we were at in the puzzle. I think... Do we just
I will not be liking and not be retweeting that. Thank you.
Check your flowchart. We have both keys. We can just proceed to the novel portion. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Remember to go to novel screen instead of... Yep, there we go.
Yep, okay.
Alright, everything's set up.
I'm gonna see how much it'll let me skip. Probably not much, but...
A fair bet. I think the only thing that changes is when we get into the room itself.
A note.
Okay, here we go.
A note?
Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
No, not right.
But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice.
Hey, Junpei, Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up!
He's getting mad.
Clover shrugged.
I'll show it to you later, alright? Come on, we gotta hurry.
Before Junpei could protest, she was gone.
She certainly sounds better than the last time she left that room.
That is
with something
true.
hiding in her pockets.
Around the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note? A note. Junpei was curious, but there was something else that bothered him.
From the look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking? For crying out loud.
Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later and ran off after Clover. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs.
Big stairs. So this is where it ends up, just like it says on the map.
It was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. His "I see" after reading the map himself meant that Ace had probably realized the same thing.
Ace, did he head down?
He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
And not just Ace. Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus as well.
Really?
Can we skip again, or
Wait, what?
can we skip again, or?
Oh, maybe that's true. I didn't think about that. Hey, you're right. Thanks, Yosh. Well, that was short-lived.
We did it. Great.
Woo! They reached B deck at the same time.
Jumpy! Clover!
June's face was excited. Something had happened. That much Junpei could tell by simply looking at her.
What's up?
Given their situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself.
We found it!
Found what?
We found it!
Oh, thank you for the resub, Trevor. That's so sweet of you. 15 months. Holy cow. Thank you.
Trevor.
What did you find?
The last door! We found door 9!
What?
Come on! Just follow us. We'll explain on the way.
Okay.
Seven turned and jogged off down the stairs.
Well, if that's the case...
Wait for me.
We should get going as well.
The rest followed.
Jumpy! We finally made it!
The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them felt.
Yeah, it's finally time.
Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe that they'd really done it, at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably was.
We've reached the end.
He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one.
Something's bothering me. Only 3 to 5 people
You're
can
not
go
wrong,
through
Bea.
the numbered door. 7 of us are on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind. 2 people. Is there a way?
Junpei looked over at the clock.
4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up!
Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
Let's go, Jumpy!
June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could.
Yeah.
Junpei followed. As a group, they piled onto the elevator and rode impatiently down to E deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. Seven grabbed hold of it and began to talk.
I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left, and that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us toward the bow and eventually to the number 6 that you 2 found earlier. We opened it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it, like usual, but this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it. Once we were through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction, toward the stern.
So, on your way, you found the elevator.
That's right.
So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side.
Yeah.
With that settled, Junpei looked around.
So, where's the number 9 door?
Over here. Follow me.
Seven began walking down the hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him.
By the way,
They had been walking for a while, June in silent step with Junpei, when she spoke.
you know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
Honestly, Bea, I'm not gonna say that's insane. That's you know, I can't blame you for that. Seven seems pretty trustworthy.
Huh?
That all 7 of us are going to door 9.
What?
You don't get it? Santa, Seven, and Lotus, what's their digital route?
3 + 7 + 8 = 18. 1 + 8 = 9.
9. It's 9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
But they didn't.
Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. He said, we can't leave June and the others behind. That's why we went looking for you guys.
And then you got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one that Santa would be the one to stick up for you. I mean,
Junpei felt his eyebrows knit as he considered that. Hi, Mile! Oh, god dang it, did it not change the category either? I'm sorry, Mile. Ugh, let me go in and switch it. I swear to god I switched it, and then it switched it back. But when I was going live on Streamlabs, the category was fine. It just didn't change the title, so I changed the title. I'm so sorry. And it's sticking its sweet time to... Okay, there we go. That should be... Phoenix has fallen into a terrible death game. Yes, indeed. Sorry for that. Thanks for letting me know that it was still changed, because when I was doing it on my OBS thing, it had switched it, so...
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern.
I don't mean that Seven and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first.
is that so?
Junpei was about to respond when... Seven suddenly stopped.
We're here.
In front of them stood a door.
So, is this...
Yeah.
Junpei couldn't see Seven's face, but he could see him nod.
There's no other place for us to go.
Nope. Just look around. There's a big old iron wall at the end of the hallway. The other hallways on the left and right are blocked by metal grates.
I see.
It looked as though Seven was right. The door in front of them was their only choice.
All right, let's get moving.
He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath and followed.
Oh,
It appeared they'd been telling the truth.
no way.
The first thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was the number. 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing made of red paint. The door it decorated sat on the back wall of a rectangular room. Junpei ran up to it.
The 9 door.
It was a large double door with a powerful styling. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made red paint look especially garish.
We're finally here.
Junpei grabbed the handle and shook. It didn't budge, but then he hadn't really expected it to. The red was bolted to the wall next to the door. It displayed its display red blanket.
No doubt about it. This is door 9.
Thanks, Junpei, as if everybody else didn't already say that.
Oh, finally! This is the last.
Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back, and his chest tightened even as his blood began to boil. There was a moment of complete silence.
Junpei, look behind you.
He turned around.
Behind? What?
Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw.
Why? A door and a 9. There's another one. Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here?
His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door, set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There was no mistaking the number, and if any more proof was needed, a red was bolted to the wall near the door.
There's a red there too. That means... And of course it won't open.
He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real.
Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Ace who spoke first.
Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
Lotus was skeptical.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Well then, that means...
Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Junpei began to mutter to himself.
So if there are 2 number 9 doors, if we split it up right?
That's not gonna work.
Junpei blinked and looked up at Clover. She held out her hand.
You've got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
Yeah, here.
Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her.
Look at this.
Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and set it down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers.
You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
If 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right?
yeah.
Clover nodded, almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math problem.
No way.
The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were blank.
Come to think of it,
Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him.
what is this room?
The walls were covered with candles. The wavering flame made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the room.
It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony, but what kind?
Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the other end of the carpet,
Is that an altar?
it was a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on a raised section of the altar was a coffin. A coffin. A coffin.
A coffin? No, it couldn't possibly be.
But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin for the time being. At that moment, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
What are you talking about?
Junpei didn't understand, and he wasn't the only one.
What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine, let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong, she just... screw it! Let me just write it out.
Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind.
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Lotus was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered.
No, I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
The rest of them began to speak all at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either.
I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at Seven.
Well, there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
Seven made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough.
Doesn't...
He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corner of Seven's eyes. That was when Santa spoke.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
Until then, Junpei...
I want to be important too.
Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of Seven's fate.
Something really quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, just because I've been screaming in the Twitch chat and Craig's like, what? Didn't we last time Junpei and Clover had a discussion about how Snake had to be alive because that body couldn't have been his.
Oh! Oh, I thought you meant, like... I forgot that we did the first part of this ending last stream. I thought you were talking about, like...
Oh,
something else,
I
but-
also, when you were saying that, then I was like, wait, was that just something I dreamed?
You just
Like,
hallucinated it?
Did that not, yeah, I was like, did that not actually happen?
Oh, yeah, no. That discussion, we had a conversation with Clover, and Clover was like, hey, that body can't be Snake's. What the fuck? That happened. Okay. I was confused.
Yeah, glad that's cleared up.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
You good?
I like how they came to that conclusion. Clover's just like, oh, that means he's alive, and they're just like, okay, how do we get off the boat? Just like, oh, thank God. Well, it's none of my problem. Like,
Priorities.
yeah, I guess.
Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable.
Agreeing?
Santa shook his head.
Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
Huh?
I said I don't want to leave Seven alone.
There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver.
What the hell are you?
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including Seven. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you?
You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
What?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was so fast Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... he had June.
See? I told you.
His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile.
Huh? What?
A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head were about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple.
Why? What the hell is that?
Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was gonna do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Damn it!
A mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face, and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then the smile faded, and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. Before long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly, and then forced June to do the same.
Now, time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations! I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands on the red.
3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 8 equals 18. That was what Santa had meant when he said he needed 2 more.
Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order.
Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed frozen like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car.
Right. Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched. And the gun roared. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked.
He really shot it? But why? Santa, why are you...
Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief.
Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
Santa's cheek twitched, almost imperceptibly.
What the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying!
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch! You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head?
Flecks of spit flew from Santa's mouth, his face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small.
Santa!
He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus.
All right, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild and her chest heaved with very quick breath, like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate.
That's it.
June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do.
It's the only way.
He turned to Ace and Lotus.
Please, go.
Huh?
No way.
Jumpy, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Jumpy! And so will Clover and Seven.
I know. But you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of.
No, no! You can't! Ace, Lotus, don't come over! Don't worry about me! Please!
June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. He gently placed a hand on each of their shoulders.
Please.
And pushed them toward the door. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step. And another. They turned around and Junpei nodded.
Go.
All right.
Fine.
Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled.
All right, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl. The red doesn't need a person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again.
He shoved the revolver harder against June's head, and she winced.
Fine.
Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand onto the scanner panel. The 4th asterisk blinked on.
Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. Soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right?
Damn it.
Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to become the chosen few.
Good. Go.
Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. 6, 7, 8.
Later.
After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles on the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the two 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read engaged. He moved to the smaller door. The red read vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. 5 plus 4 plus 7 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door.
June.
He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat. That was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
7 opened his mouth to respond when a noise echoed through the room. Someone was pounding on something vigorously. It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet!
Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from.
Where is it coming from? Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For show?
You're telling me to force it open?
Just shut up and try!
Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Damn it!
It won't even budge.
There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Not another one.
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
I think so.
The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out. And now.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and 7 investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
What was that?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, that was the wrong answer.
That was supposed to help you find the right route on the DS version. It's like a short movie cutscene.
Oh, is it? I thought that was playing
And-
the intro thing, and I was like, oh god, there's spoilers.
No.
Oh,
I
sorry.
mean,
It
it's
was
fine
like-
because that also has spoilers in it.
I mean, yeah, it has spoilers, but it shows you like which rooms you need to pick
Oh,
to
okay, well,
get
that's
a
good to
certain
know.
ending.
But
Cool.
also, we have
So
a
wait,
K and a Yosh and a Kiki,
Yeah.
and we also have this neat, fancy little flowchart that says,
Yeah.
"Hey, look at all these red keys that are all crossed out that we have to go grab. Let's go grab those."
Yeah, so many
wait,
keys.
okay, wait. So that was just it just says to be continued, and then it says that's
Yes.
the wrong answer.
So this
Yeah.
is what's considered a dummy end of it's not counted towards the technically not counted towards the endings, but if you get here without knowing the answers, it gives you a quote unquote coffin end.
Fun fact: I got Coffin End on my first playthrough of 999.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that was really confusing.
Yeah, I bet.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah.
So we gotta go all the way back here. And we have so many that we have to go through, so we're gonna do some hopping, hip hopping.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm
Hippin'
ready
and a
to
hoppin'
hop.
and a hip hop and I don't quite stop up.
Why does it always pull me back on the ADV
I thought we
screen?
were finished with that topic.
Piece of shit. Okay. I'm gonna just...
It doesn't matter. I think being on the ADV screen is better while
Oh.
skipping.
Oh, actually, that's fair. That's actually a good point.
Because
Oh my god.
and then we can go back to the
enough.
novel
All we're
screen.
doing is talking.
We can go back to the novel screen when we're no longer skipping and we're actually getting a new
Yeah,
scene,
that's
you
a
know?
good point. I didn't think about that because there's less dialogue to get through when you're skipping, so...
Anywho, to get to the true ending, first we have to take a detour towards the other true ending.
Yeah.
Smiley face.
Not confusing at
8,
all.
11, 8, 11, 17, 22, 4.
Yeah. That's the same answer we gave last time.
Mhm.
The right answer. Oh, I saw my boy.
He's alive temporarily.
He's still alive. Stop.
Okay.
I don't know which door we need to go. I don't remember which one we went through last time.
Yeah, so... I didn't actually realize there was a lock here. I guess it's required of you have to do it most recently, I guess is what it is. Is that right, Kay and Yosh?
You have to go the proper order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, this is right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, since the last lock required us to go through door 4, naturally, this lock requires us to go through door 5.
Whee!
I think it may already have.
Those going to
Yeah,
door
getting us a
5
key.
are...
Really? Okay. Just making the... Okay, yeah, so just making the decision alone was enough. Okay, so then we have to do a similar-ish thing here, and this is... Yeah, so we'll have to go through a specific door again.
I believe that this is door 8.
Well,
and
we
not
really don't
door
have a
3.
choice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this version really makes it a lot more obvious, the flowchart.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what though?
4,
I appreciate
5, and
that
7
because
go
if I
through
had to
7,
figure that crap
and
out,
3,
I would just
6,
be
and
like,
8 go through 8.
Okay, so
we
we're
would
gonna...
not be nearly as far into this as we are right now.
Okay, so we're gonna skip to laboratory.
Oh, it's this one again. Okay.
Yeah. So... I don't remember enough about what triggers the things in here, so... Do we just go through it?
Yeah, there's
Do you want me to
one
find a
scene at
guide, or do you
the
want to just
computer.
walk through real quick?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we had to figure out how to. We had to figure out how to fix the computer. We had to get the cord from Clover in the.
Yeah, Yosh, was that what you were saying? Is that like in the actual puzzle is what we need to do?
Yeah, I think so. There's one scene at the PC that we need to watch, and I
Okay.
think one scene with Clover at the door. I
Okay.
think I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, most of this... Oh, no. Most of this dialogue we've seen before, so I'm gonna skip through a fair amount of it.
But yeah, this was that whole like Junpei. How do you get power to a computer with a cable?
Yeah. Oh, I have to click... Okay, good. I thought it was gonna make me click specifically on that. I was like, damn. Okay,
Oh yeah, and we have to like give her the ethanol to like clear something away.
We have to name Science Boy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Science
The
Boy.
most important part of the game. The entire game.
Obviously.
Okay, back here. Okay, see if she's done. Oh, I didn't mean to hit the grate.
I'm very excited for your 99 speed run.
Let's see, shoot, where's the, there we go. For some reason, the middle rooms and then like room 5 are ones that I'm like, I really remember a lot of, and I can do a lot of it like either just through guesswork or by actually remembering it for some reason, and I don't know when and how that happened.
I guess the only thing I could think of is just that maybe you would have played those ones more, but
maybe I don't know.
I don't know that that's actually true.
Yeah, I don't know for sure if that's the case or not. Alright.
But also, I feel like I have that with certain video games where it's just like, I remember just weird specific details
Right.
for no seemingly like useful reason, and it's like, okay, well, I wish I could remember some other stuff, but
9 person, 9 hours, 9 person, 9 doors, speed run. Time with loads. World record is 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 12 seconds.
That didn't take 9 hours.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Why?
Oh, hey, it's the best CG in the game. The second best CG in the game.
Wait, the second best?
I'm a really big fan of Clover.
Okay, I was
And that
thinking.
app.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it might have been a Clover one, but I wasn't sure. Lotus blinked.
Oh.
Accent CG, best CG.
It was just...
She stopped typing for a moment and her face fell.
I see.
This was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Lotus's fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... Well, the short version is that I just attack the thing head on. The long version?
Without looking up or slowing down, she began to explain.
A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own. It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do.
Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed or missed a key. Junpei
Is
couldn't
this
help...
new dialogue?
Yeah, I was skipping, and then it, like, stopped us. So
Oh, okay.
At least parts of it are new. It might be interspersed with some old stuff, but parts of it are new. Junpei couldn't help but feel a little odd.
But back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display. It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it? How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 + 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No. Not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago.
Hmm?
You're just not getting it, are you? who calculated 1 + 1.
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power.
If they're from a
Eventually, there might
cave,
even
how would they
be
know to
collapse.
check the hardware?
Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Oh.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
Lotus continued to type. Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, really. It's just, I thought maybe, what if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay,
I like
see
that
what
she can
happens
have a
when I cut out
conversation
this
like this while she's programming.
Yeah, you have to have like special brain powers to do that.
I can't even like look at something and talk at the same time.
Just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain. See? Doesn't it sound the same? Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor. Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her argument just seemed silly, and he was a little surprised to be hearing something like it from someone like her.
The brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere else.
That's just crazy talk.
Did Lotus really think that, he wondered? It was a little creepy, Junpei thought. It sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultish religion.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia.
Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued.
If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
Huh.
I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
He knew what aphasia was from watching medical dramas on TV, and blindsight was easy enough to guess, but he'd never heard the word prosopagnosia before.
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
Lotus spun around in her chair to look at him. Junpei just shrugged and shook his head.
No. What is it?
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours, so they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. Well, you've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same, even though they've obviously got faces. It's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually. But you or I couldn't, unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart. Well, that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Junpei did his best to act as though the entire lecture hadn't gone entirely over his head.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
What about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
Lotus's smile had something rather masochistic to it.
It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
I don't have to kill time any longer.
As she spoke, Lotus raised her right arm high and brought it down on the enter key.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got.
Chunks of text flickered on and off in quick succession, and then a line of numbers appeared, blinked, and disappeared. The screen cleared, and all that was left was the word accepted.
Piece of cake.
Lotus would clearly have patted herself on the back if it would not have made her look entirely ridiculous. After a few seconds, the accepted disappeared to be replaced with 9 squares arranged in a 3x3 square.
The screen changed again. What the hell is that?
No idea. Looks like a puzzle.
Suddenly, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do anymore. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard. Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
Let me take a break, all right? I did my part.
Well...
He wasn't sure what to say to that. She certainly had done her part. In fact, without Lotus, they probably would have run completely aground. I shouldn't rely on other people so much, Junpei thought to himself.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. And make sure you know when you should thank people.
Now, I better take care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
Junpei crossed his arms and stared at the puzzle shown on the screen. I'm just gonna brute force this. There we go. Sick.
But yeah, when we first did this, I think Junpei was kind of rude to Lotus.
Yeah.
And she just told Junpei to go away, and Junpei went away, and we never heard anything about this.
That makes sense. I was trying to remember what the difference was, because like I only ever remember this conversation because it's so like vital to the story that like I can never remember what the alternate version is.
Yeah.
Got some keys. Okay, let's see if this will let me.
I wanted to ask you something.
Hmm?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right? Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh?
Why is she asking me this, Junpei wondered. The more he thought about it, however, the more it made sense. Snake had been gone for a long time. Clover was quite attached to her brother. Of course she would have been worried about him.
Well, let me think.
He thought back to when he'd gone through door 5, hoping he might remember something, even a small something that would help her. However...
Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Clover's words were barely audible. She nodded vaguely to Junpei and turned to walk away.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if... Is Snake, I mean, was he born...
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is... it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm. The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Talking about her brother had clearly taken a great deal out of Clover. Junpei nodded.
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
It's not that.
Clover only shook her head and walked off down the stairs. Okay, I think that... Oh. Yeah, so that clears those
Yeah.
keys. So now to door 1.
This is so stressful.
Do we know which one? It's the first one, right? Because it would be, if it was the second one, it'd be lower down.
Yes.
Think so.
Think so?
Okay.
I think it's
Only one way to find out.
Santa? Question mark?
Oh, if it's Santa, then it's at the very end, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
No. It's Santa and the stairs.
Oh, is it? Or is that the
Is
second?
there? Because there's another.
No.
There's another key. No. The one in the. I don't know if we've seen this scene in.
Yeah.
No. It's in the engine room.
It's still
I
in
don't
the
know if
engine
we've seen this scene.
So you're saying we have to go through all of the puzzle?
When do we get the? Can you just look around the map real quick?
Yes.
I want to see exactly where we are. This room doesn't look very familiar.
This is the one with the. This is the one with like the giant wheels, and we had to put the gears in. Whatever.
Bea, can you tell me if this sounds familiar?
Sure.
Santa telling a story about Santa. Santa
know
the fictional character, not Santa himself.
I think so. We
You
did
think
this
you
room
remember that?
such a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I think we got the simplified version of it last time. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There's two versions, and
Yeah.
we heard one of them.
Yeah. So I think I've got to just go through this puzzle until to get to that point.
Do you want the
Yeah,
funky
we need
guide
to get
this
to.
puzzle room?
Yeah.
We need to get to the very end of this room. That solve the entire room to get to that part.
It's at the very end of the steam engine room or the handle room?
Yeah, it's this one.
Okay. I'm gonna find the guide.
Okay. Are you DMing it
Maybe
to me or
we'll
you're putting it
skip.
in speculation?
I'm putting it in stream chat.
Stream chat?
Can
Okay.
we skip ahead on the troll chat?
Do you want me to put it in speculation instead?
No, it's okay. I was just curious because I think that's what you put it in last time. So I was just thinking,
I
but
don't know
stream
where I
chat's
put
stream chat's
anything.
fine. Stream chat's fine.
Can we skip ahead on the flow chat a bit in this room? There's another point in the.
The
in
handle
this
one?
room. Yeah.
I thought we agreed that it wasn't in the handle. I thought we agreed it was in the engine room part.
No, it's the same room, isn't it?
I don't know.
Here, it's in stream chat. Also, I am you know that thing that I do whenever I get a story idea and I just kind of info dump in your DMs?
Yes, I opened it and I was like, why do I have six
Okay, you please feel free to ignore me. It's not
Okay.
showing up on stream.
Okay. Okay. That have a display on the wall. So
No, I meant go to handle.
so I can go to handle?
I think so. Yeah,
I
just
believe
put
the
this
box has
here,
reached the floor.
and we're still in the same room.
Yeah, because he tells that story when they're like almost
You know,
out of the room.
Speaking of experiments, there
Are we
was
still
this
skipping?
experiment some scientists did with rats.
This might be new too.
Yeah, it stopped me.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's here. Go
First,
on.
they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it. The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him.
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic alone.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned around.
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that? Huh? Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are
Doesn't
down,
sound
either you
ominous at all.
crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Oh.
Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Oh, it just deposited us at the flowchart. That's interesting.
That was nice.
Oh.
That's fascinating.
Shouldn't we still
Weird. Neat.
finish this
Okay.
room?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought... Huh. That's weird.
Do you want to get the Santa scene again, Bea? Or would you rather just continue on?
Well,
I mean, it should be a new scene,
I was
right?
gonna say, like, yeah, like,
I believe the box has reached the floor.
why is it... And the
Let's
flowchart
just-
is...
No, I mean, I think
She doesn't
the
seem to be
Santa.
improving.
Oh, is this...
Huh?
Hold on, did we come back into it and it's something else now, too?
think-
Can you skip again?
Why did it stop me there?
Hmm.
Okay, here's the experiment stuff again.
No, I don't think the Santa scene changes.
No, it does, because there's two different versions. I've heard both
Are
versions
there?
of it. Yeah. Bea,
Yeah.
can you deafen yourself for just a second?
Okay.
She
There are two
deafened?
different versions of it.
Yeah.
You think?
So there's one version where he's just saying that like he used to be her Santa, his sister Santa, and there's the other version where he tells the story about the black and the red Santa, and those are two
He told
different
the
versions.
story of the Black and the Red Santa.
But I thought... I'm pretty sure we got through...
In one version, he tells us more details about his sister and how she's not with us anymore.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's the one we got last time. I don't think we've heard the black and red Santa story yet.
Hold on, let me.
The wiki.
You can tell her out, Devin, while I look through this, but I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check the wiki for this dimension room.
Oh, no, okay. I'm on the wiki now. It's we have to get the exit, so we have to go back to the engine room and just go all the way through the. It's not a key. It's not a key.
It's just a
scene.
conversation. Damn it.
No.
But I feel like that's kind of important.
Okay, then go to the.
Yeah.
Then go to the engine room.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it, and I'll just use the walkthrough.
And then just go. Did I put it in stream chat properly?
What you mean, like the link?
The guide. Yeah,
I think so. It looks good to me. Okay. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I need to go grab something. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
Something that she needs to grab is a knife to stab the game with.
Now get a gun.
Oh my god. What's that TikTok audio? It's like, get the gun.
What's that you got? A knife! No! We've been doing that meme a lot in our Amori streams on Thursdays.
Look, if the opportunity presents itself.
Hey Kiki.
Yeah?
What's that you got there?
Was that Wawa?
Never mind.
I'm so sorry.
The key in Kiki does not stand for knife. We are not knife. Goggles girl, aka knife.
Knife. Excuse me. Is that the Japanese word for it?
Name.
No, we were talking about how you were getting up to grab a knife to stab the game.
Yes, absolutely.
But which one is Kiki and which one is Booba?
Stop.
Yes, I know. Let's not talk about this. Thank you.
Yeah, they're just trying to share their stories with you. I don't know
why. I know, I'm so rude to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A, B, then tap the wheel on the winch to make it fall off. I just love that. Ah, shit! I wish there was like a skip function for the dialogue in here. That would be very nice.
But then it would be too easy.
That is true. Okay, go back through B, then door A, through then door C. Use the wheel on the... Actually, Kay, you want to do me a favor?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Could you read me the prompts? So I don't have to keep flipping back and forth.
Okay. Go up the stairs that have the display on the wall inside, which is go through the door A, then go through door B.
I did that. I grabbed the winch. I got the winch thing. I went back through B, then A, and then C, I think.
Okay. Use the wheel on the winch heat.
Wait, hold on.
Did
I go through the wrong?
Use the wheel on the winch.
I think I went through the wrong door. Hold on. So I'm at A. So I went through A.
Go through B, then A, then C. Yeah, through C now. Now through C.
Okay. There we go. Okay, and then use the wheel on the winch.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Use the wheel, get the box. Use the wheel, get the box. Use the wheel.
Oh, it didn't do it itself. Damn it.
No. That's not me. That's not me to you. That's Ace to Junpei.
Oh yeah.
Ace is being very patronizing right now.
Oh yeah, I hate him in this room.
Just this room, though?
I don't hate him. I don't think in any of the rooms, but I don't trust him in a single one.
The floor.
Oh, yeah, you can skip now. Wee woo! Wee woo! And this triggers the story segment.
It's an experiment.
Wow.
Never seen this before.
No.
Literally never.
Alright.
What emerges in an emergency?
Light.
It's the gun I
Rally.
found, Junpei.
Hey, Junpei, have you ever heard of rats? Rats? We are the rats?
Stop.
Pray
Oh
at
my
night, you
god.
stalk at
Go
night,
downstairs
we
and get the
are
console on the
rats.
left side of the conveyor belt.
Okay. Where was the stairs? Back through this way, I think.
Oh, that's a good question. I think you have to go through C,
Yeah,
maybe?
And then back through
maybe
A?
it is through C.
I was just in through C. I just went back through C.
It doesn't say go through another door.
Really? Is it?
Oh, is there... Can you click...
I just, like,
I'm
I can only be
definitely on the
here, and I
wrong-
can only be here.
There's
definitely
nothing...
on
You
the
can't click
wrong
those
side.
boxes and get, like... Oh, there's nothing past those boxes. Okay, so turn
Yeah.
around again. Can you click the A door?
No.
Or no?
No. it
Okay,
won't let
then
me.
yeah, just go back to the door.
Okay. And then...
And then...
Which side? Is it this side?
Can you click that walkway?
No.
No?
Maybe I have to go back
through B.
through...
Go through door B. Go through door B. Oh god, we're stuck.
Hold on. I think it's A. I think it's A. Hold on.
You think it's A?
Yeah, wait,
Yes.
if it's the center, there you
Okay.
go.
Okay,
go back
I have to go
downstairs.
downstairs to what?
Go downstairs and get the console from the left side of the conveyor belt.
We're so used to number doors, we weren't ready for letterhead doors.
Yeah, we are so used to numbered doors. Okay,
Became illiterate
open the
while I was
door
solving
in the
that
conveyor
problem.
belt and use the console on the hole. Take the box of coal.
Cool.
Turn around and tap the 3 circular metal things with rectangular doors in them.
Oh, do I have to do it from here? No?
The thing thonky, oh my god. It literally says turn around, tap the 3 circular metal things with this should open the rectangular
Oh.
doors, if not try another set of
It's
metal.
it's these, sorry.
Okay.
Or not?
So that is where. Wait.
Try the far
Put
one.
Cole in.
I said to
Doesn't-
perhaps check the other side.
Cole has to go in
No
those
way.
boxes at the back.
Oh,
you-
turn around the other way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then put the coal in. Ace and Santa will help put the coal in the boiler instead of being useless fucking lumps.
Useless lumps of coal.
I swear, Funky's got the facts right here.
Beautiful.
It says right here, useless fucking lumps. Very opinionated of you, Funky. I approve.
It's beautiful coal sound effects.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. It's just like Justin's soundboard. Those 2 kilobyte crickets.
I want a soundboard with nothing but 999 sound effects.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's because she has that too, and he used that for AI or something.
That is true. That is true. He did reuse a bunch of stuff. Okay, what are we doing now?
Escaping.
Go up the stairs and tap the sliding switch on the right-hand side. Yep. Yeah, that would.
Oh. Oops.
The far right, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realize my mouse was gonna land there, and I just was like cookie clicker tapping, and it just happened to hit that one. Yeah, Santa. Okay, and what do I do with these once I've got them?
We have to use those to get out of the room.
Each gear wheel to find a metal disc in each. You got that one? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Jesus. Okay. Couldn't get the last one. All right, what do I do? We have to put them where?
Take the 3 discs up to the other set of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gold on the left, bronze on the right, silver up top.
There we go. Okay.
No, switch those two.
Wait, which do these two?
Switch gold and bronze.
Gold and bronze. Oh, yeah. I don't know my right and left apparently.
It's okay.
Cool.
Sun, let there be light.
We did it! Okay.
Yes! The door. All right, Junpei.
Let me go
Why
to
don't
the
you go
menu.
get June now?
Okay, we're gonna skip until we hear the story.
We may have just skipped
We
to
didn't have parents. They
this
bought
on the
it in an
flowchart
accident
because
when we
it's
were still
after the
kids.
escape room.
That's possible. Oh well, we did a puzzle together and we bonded over it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I had to be like her
I don't
dad.
remember this.
And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out, and then a few days later it'd show up back in her mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. Hi, Yaka! Yes, Santa is very pretty. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
But one year, her letter was different.
Hope you're doing well.
She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
what happened?
June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Oh.
There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them 2 at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Okay, I feel like that's probably the end of that story, so... There's another lock in here that we have to go through, so I'm gonna skip here. Oh, do we know which one it is?
It's the 9 photos.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, I went to coffin shit.
Wait, that's the coffin.
There's 3.
Wait.
Fuck! God damn it.
Yes, the nine photos coffin.
Why does it... Yeah, well, okay.
The same thing happened with the red file.
I know, I don't understand why sometimes it blocks me from the flowchart. I don't understand that. I'm just gonna skip until it gets to...
Gun. Oh, hey, we saw
look.
that gun. It's familiar.
It looks familiar.
This is a surprise tool that will help us later.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Jesus.
Okay, go
Now
to
we
the
finally
card.
have all 9 picture cards.
Oh.
Okay, let's see if it'll... How far it'll let us skip. Just then,
There it is.
Junpei heard a noise. He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
Hey! June, are you okay?
She did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finished the box thing, alright? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hands and ran off toward June.
Are you alright? What happened?
Junpei called out to her as he ran.
Can you stand?
As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
Just let me see for a sec.
Junpei put his palm on her forehead.
Huh.
You're still warm.
Her temperature was much the same as it had been the last time he checked. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely gone.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June hadn't needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that? I think she's probably still a little messed up.
June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off of her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed, and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still.
Alright, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine? Medicine, huh? Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company. Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think. Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Soparil before. Santa continued.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals stock did too.
Why do you
You
know
may
all
want
of
to
this?
pause for like 30 seconds and check stream chat,
Okay.
because Bea needs to leave for like 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Bea, go ahead.
And it better be only 30 seconds.
We were talking last time about not knowing anything about Ace, and thus distrusting him. Surely knowing that he is a rich CEO will make us trust him more and not less.
Yeah,
Because
we always need to
trust
trust
our rich
people.
CEOs. Smiley face. There's never a reason to distrust oligarchs. Ever. Never ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
No worries. Sorry, I didn't see. Thank you guys for monitoring it because I don't see, since I have the thing open, it like deafens all of my notifications. So, and I don't have Discord just open the way I used to in a separate monitor, so I don't see these things unless somebody else says it. So thank you guys for informing me.
New monitor fun for Kiki.
Yeah.
So I totally agree. How could this possibly make us trust Ace anymore?
Totally.
Any less?
Mm-hmm.
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and simple.
I heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the
Why
number
did he
4
tell you
door
and
at the
not
central
us?
stairway, when we were searching the second class room. Remember how Snake, 7, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. He seemed to be having difficulty with the 9 boxes.
What the hell is he doing?
He turned back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, alright?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
He gave them both a short nod, then turned and headed toward Ace.
What are you doing?
Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in sweat.
What happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held the cards out to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia. Growing old is a difficult thing.
He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed and his lips were pale and drawn.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
Presbyopia is the gradual loss of your eye's ability to focus on nearby objects.
Thank you, Kate.
For those
Good to know.
wondering.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. All of the pictures were quite clear, and each person easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
That was when Junpei remembered what he'd heard from Lotus much earlier.
Prosopagnosia. Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs looking quite depressed.
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
If he really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best to keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being.
Oh well.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2.
That might be... No, okay.
I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
All 9 box lids popped open at once.
Yeah! Oh, they opened!
He peered inside.
What the?
In each box is a single pin.
9?
They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker.
I guess I'll take them with me.
Junpei collected them quickly and shoved them into his pocket. There we go. All right.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
how do I back out of this bullshit?
Try to go
Try
up
the back
first.
button. Or...
Can
No.
you not push
Oh.
anything?
Oh, it's
Oh,
right
there we go.
click. It's right click. Okay. Okay, so
Oh,
this
hey.
is unlocked now, which means we can go do whatever is not the knife ending.
237.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of
Or
time.
137.
We can get into it, or we could technically just leave it for next time. But I don't know when that next time would be.
Knife ending 2.
The sequel to Knife. I mean, if you think there'll be a spot that makes sense to stop at some point in there, then I'm fine with keeping going. But I feel bad if we just like end right in the middle of something.
I mean, how strict is your I gotta leave right at 2?
I probably
Is it-
have like 10-15 minutes of like wiggle room.
I think this ending's pretty long,
I'm-
so...
No.
I mean,
I'm trying to break this section into pieces right
Yeah.
now. I'm thinking that the first part, if we go until we see Clover, could we get that done?
I
before-
think so. I was kind of thinking that might be enough too. We could try it, and
Do we
if
have enough-
we don't quite get there, then you know it won't be in the worst stopping point either. So,
All right.
all right, let's.
Your job, Bea, is to give us a hard. I gotta go now. I gotta leave,
Yeah.
and try not to get caught up. It's
Okay.
a whirlwind of things,
Yeah.
and you might get caught up. But you are the one with the time concerns. I need you
Yeah.
to be looking at a clock.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I'll.
Don't be
I'll
shy.
Keep an eye on it.
All right. I skip through.
Can you skip?
It won't let me
it's so-
click the menu while the elevator's happening. There we go. Okay.
It's so confusing getting like all those info dumps at the same time because you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I see like
Yeah.
a bigger picture, but like, what does it mean?
There's kind of a
like,
reason
if-
why the original one didn't have a flowchart to prevent stuff like that from happening.
That's fair. I feel like
Also,
how,
hardware
like,
concerns.
Well,
Questions?
also that
we're
too.
seeing a picture of like, I don't know, like a dilapidated city, and you're just like, okay, I understand that, but why are we looking at this? And it's just like, well, look. And I'm like, okay. What does it mean?
Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the
She's
corners.
not here.
No, she isn't.
Oh yeah, they're looking for Clover here, right?
Yes.
Alright, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Shower room?
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him.
June bit her lip. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing to see in the shower room, and it wasn't pleasant.
Well, we might as well check, right? Let's go.
There was a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame.
Good. We can still get in.
We should thank Seven later.
Junpei and June slipped through the door, moved down the hallway, and stepped into the shower room.
No luck.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
June's voice was faint as she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green.
The smell is horrible.
The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten the lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. and the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
Let's check the back, just to be sure.
June offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
No, she's not here.
As he'd expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was the dead body, lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood.
Just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered to what once was Snake. He'd ask rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted. Huh? Wait.
The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna.
Bones.
The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. But the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was quite clearly a real human arm. Or at least it had been once. That meant... the corpse?
Jumpy?
June's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Oh, sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
Junpei and June headed back towards the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
He looked pale and his face was drawn. Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air.
Clover is dead. I found her in the first-class bathroom.
All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there, frozen in place.
Clover. Clover, why? Why did this happen?
He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse. No breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. He traced its source to her back, a gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover's smile.
Clover!
Her innocent smile, her energy. He would never see her smile again.
No way.
He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot.
Let's get out of here, June.
Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom.
Are you all right?
It was a foolish question, and he knew it.
Yes, I think so.
Her voice was weak. The fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom.
You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Can you sit?
Yes.
She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there.
Who was the first to find the body?
Me.
Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad. She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin. Come quick! Or something like that. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask.
Seven, there's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock. So we could come back to this room? Oh. You think I did it?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud.
Seven sighed and shook his head.
Follow me.
There were two doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
A closet?
Yeah.
Seven stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it and gestured toward a small box. The box was a small metal cube. He looked at Junpei.
This is the reason.
Oh, do we
This
finally
safe.
get to do this?
We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room. I figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
Figured it wouldn't open.
It was as locked as it had been when Seven found it. There was one change, however.
This is...
Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
rust.
Junpei stared at it, considering.
If there's rust here, that means... Has someone opened the safe?
Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back to the bedroom.
Huh?
It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat, frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of door number 5.
Behind this door. The ninth man's body is behind there. Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Quietly, he pushed open the door.
Ugh.
The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell? This smell is...
His lungs contracted, unwilling to hail such fetid air. I don't know how that word is pronounced. Acid boiled... Fetid? Okay. This is one of those I've read a lot and I've never heard it pronounced out loud, so... Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. On the floor, next to the broken mass of the man's head, lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried, like scabs on the floor.
Wait.
That was when he noticed.
It's gone. His bracelet. It's gone. It was right next to the glasses.
But now... it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
But why?
Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice.
Huh? Where'd Junpei go?
It had drifted out to him from the living room.
Mm.
Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway?
Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room.
Yeah.
Did you find something?
He thought for a moment before he responded.
No.
Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The ninth man's bracelet.
What's up?
Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
What is it?
Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again. A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something. And I found this.
As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
What?
She was holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. The paper was more important.
I'm opening it.
He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
A code.
The first clue was likely the phrase, sinister hand. Sinister hand means...
I don't know. Probably the left one, since all the Catholic people hated the left hand. That's my best guess.
Yeah, sinister
Ooh.
comes from, yeah, it's
Sinister
a whole,
was a
like,
term
Latin
used
thing.
in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms.
Ah!
Left hand. The left hand.
I've never
What does
felt
the
this
left
smart
hand
in my
mean?
whole life.
Junpei looked at his own left arm. At the bracelet on his wrist.
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
He examined the bracelet closely.
There's 2 things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone.
Truth gone. Maybe those 2 words.
Oh, I have no idea.
Honestly, this one's kind of a weird one anyways.
I mean,
I can't
try
think of
reading.
how any of those options would help.
Like, try reading it out loud. Does that change anything?
Are you saying to me or to Bea?
I don't think so, because you can't like pronounce any of those words differently.
I mean, do you want to try saying it out loud? Now? Just for science?
I just did it quietly
have
to
to?
try to listen to it,
Okay.
but
And I
Okay,
mean,
so
if
it's not
you
that- the first one.
if you read these backwards, truth and gone, like what would it even be? On
And
Enoch
sinister, the of darkness,
What?
being asleep.
No,
Is
I always thought of it as those words, reading those backwards. So, Enoch and Hitchwood.
yeah,
on had a truth baby.
classic. Those are helpful.
And sinister, the of darkness, the in asleep is truth. Now,
That's how, like, I feel like the answer to this is really obvious, but I can't. None of them. The only thing that makes any sense is trying to figure out what else gone in truth could mean, but I can't. I feel like
Right.
that's not the correct answer, and I don't know what I need
I mean,
to do to get the right
it is
answer.
the only option in which there are bolded words. Bolded usually means important, right?
Yeah.
Is that... Am I gonna screw everything up if I pick that one?
You know what? Just to be sure. If you do screw it up,
We have a nice coffin.
if you do screw it up, we can just come back here, okay?
Okay. I guess let's pick that one for right
What
now,
else could
because I don't know
gone
what
and
else.
truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct, something that's fact. In other words, you could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. But in this case, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left.
Junpei looked at the bracelet again.
The left and right of the bracelet. These two things sticking out. So if I...
Press them in the following order.
Truth had gone. Truth had
It's
gone.
the... Yeah,
truth
it's
had
the
gone.
right, left, right, left, right, left.
Right, left, right, left, right, left. And then... One after another, 8 numbers flashed on, then off of the face of Junpei's bracelet.
Wait, did it just...
He checked one more time to be sure.
3, 4, 2, 1. I think it was.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
What does it say about my brain that I just remembered that?
That you are really into Zero Escape?
That I have a number brain?
Or that too, yeah.
Hey, what are those numbers?
Junpei didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed toward the bedroom.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Junpei slowly dialed in the numbers the bracelet had given him.
1 to the right, 4 to the left, and... Oh,
Finished.
bingo. I knew it was for this.
A small, telltale sound of a lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up.
Oh, is this some sort of note?
Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding.
Let's see.
Junpei picked it up. This was what it said. Fact number 1. The nunnery game was played once before, 9 years ago. Fact number 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Fact number 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO, Gentaro Hongo. Cradle Pharmaceuticals Chief of Staff, Nagisa Nijisaki. Cradle Pharmaceuticals R&D Supervisor, Teruaki Kubota. Majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Kagachika Musashido. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved, I now state the truth. 0. Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, Seven, and June. He looked at each one of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands in the pockets of his vest.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you?
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
What do you want to be sure of?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover.
The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by attention like a strap of leather stretched to its limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to notice.
Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there.
Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock on the main staircase.
How much time do you have, Bea?
I was gonna say, I think
probably-
this... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, probably like 10-15 more minutes.
I think this might be... Oh, why did it do that?
This is a good stopping point, but I think we could get through the next thing.
Why does it keep doing that?
Unless your game is bugging. If your game is bugging, then I guess this
Yeah,
is
it like
the
keeps...
best
It's
part.
going to like... It like keeps going to like the log, sort of.
Save? Can you save right now?
Yeah, I mean, we can try getting through it if you guys want.
Up to you.
No, let's just try to get to the next part.
Okay. The bell rang 5
it's 5
times, then
o'clock.
ceased. We've only got an hour
We
left.
don't have a lot of time left. Let's go.
Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom.
Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me.
Junpei stopped in front of door 3 and turned around.
Ace, 7, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red?
Huh?
Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just...
No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door.
Why?
Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover.
Junpei's implication was clear, and 7 understood perfectly.
What about you, Ace, Lotus?
Very well.
Sure.
Quickly, they pressed their palms onto the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door, as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks shone from the red's display panel.
I have this idea. I don't think this device responds to a hand placed on it. It instead reacts to a bracelet being brought close. You don't actually need a hand.
Junpei approached it and held his bracelet over the scanner. He made quite sure he didn't place his palm on it, instead only brought his bracelet near it. The 4th asterisk appeared.
I knew it.
Just as Junpei had expected. It was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, so long as the bracelet was brought near it. Junpei pulled the lever down. Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 long seconds passed. And the door shut, unfed. Junpei walked slowly back to the others, who were waiting some distance from the door, talking to one another. Santa and June had joined them as well.
Huh?
It looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break into the conversation yet. As Junpei approached, they turned to look at him, curiosity playing on their faces. Before long, the other 3 did as well.
What was that about?
How should I know?
Clearly, they were all expecting some answers.
Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation.
Clearly, they'd hoped for something more forthcoming. He continued.
By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something?
What is it?
Do you know who I am?
What? What kind of question?
Just answer it, please. Who am I?
You're Junpei, of course. Who else would you be?
Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa.
What?
Ace's voice was full of surprise, but it was also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Junpei quickly continued.
The clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap.
That's ridiculous. Impossible.
So, you're saying I'm not Santa?
Of course you aren't.
Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa?
If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 equals 19. 1 plus 9 would be 10. The digital route would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3.
It's 5, right?
Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. He set his jaw and glared at Junpei.
You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5.
As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist.
Sorry, Ace. Of course, I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was? Ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered. If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Ace, you have prosopagnosia, am I right?
That's an awkward sentence. I don't think anyone would say that.
Yeah, not specifically that, at least. Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth, so did Ace.
Prosopagnosia?
The others looked confused.
What's that?
No clue.
Prosopagnosia is...
He heard Lotus begin to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back towards Junpei and sighed.
Very well. I confess. I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder?
No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia.
Ace's face tightened, his eyes narrowed.
What do you mean?
Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds.
I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him.
Junpei was suddenly very aware of 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath.
That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you...
I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first. Think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us.
Lotus looked away awkwardly. Junpei glanced at her and continued.
Then you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see? If Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery. Please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, huh?
Junpei stared off into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear.
You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room.
What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have?
Really?
Yes.
Pleading was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled the piece of wax from his ear, glanced at it, and flicked it off into the darkness.
Oh well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The
Just
second
really wants you
is
to
that,
think
as I
about
said
moving
earlier,
forward.
You
I
have
guess so.
prosopagnosia.
Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice.
No, I am not that stupid.
Then why?
Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room. It's not Snake's.
What?
Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. If the body wasn't Snake's...
I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident, but the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake.
Oh God. No. That's impossible.
Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring.
Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake.
Alright, Ben Shapiro, calm down.
Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people. And yet, they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him.
Wait. Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right. And I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him. Why would I want to kill Snake?
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you. So you...
Hey, hold on a minute.
For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke.
What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him?
Look at this.
He handed Santa a small piece of paper.
What's this piece of paper?
Santa squinted at the paper and began to read.
The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people. What is this?
Slowly, Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes met Junpei's.
It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first class cabin.
Then, suddenly...
Give me a break!
Ace's face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury tinged with desperation.
That paper is a lie! Someone is trying to frame me!
Me. You said me, right?
Junpei's eyes narrowed, and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply. His eyes flicked off of Junpei to something. Anything else.
Wouldn't that mean you're admitting you're hungry?
Hi, Missy
CEO
Galaxy!
of
Thank you
Cradle
for the
Pharmaceuticals?
raid! Hope you're having a good one. Welcome in. This is pretty heavy spoiler territory for Zero Escape 999, so if this is a game you're interested in, I would not stick around too long. But hello! Hope you're doing and having a good one. Hope Paper Mario was good.
If you want to play this, please leave right now.
But thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Or am I mistaken?
Stop! Thanks, I'm doing pretty well. Hope you are too. It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and he realized what he'd done. And as he realized what he'd done, his eyes
Very
went
well.
wide.
I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago.
Oh, well, hopefully this will get you hooked then, because this is my favorite story of all time. So maybe this will get you invested.
Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all...
Oh, hi, Mike. Yes, this section is very spoilery. Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself to a more tenable position.
Junpei, you're claiming I did this all by myself. Think that over, all right? How could I have killed Snake all by myself?
No, it's actually a visual novel.
Not Snake. It was Guy X.
I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X.
Nope. You could have.
Huh?
What?
Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close.
Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then, I took this.
Junpei put his hand into his pocket.
No! You couldn't have!
Ace's right hand moved.
I
Junpei
got
smiled.
You, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9th man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3.
1 + 2 + 9 = 12. 1 + 2 = 3.
That's how you killed
Okay,
Guy
but
X
where's
all by yourself,
Snake?
Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket.
Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped, halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor. His
You
face
guys are
hidden
making
from
fun of
Junpei.
me for not trusting him.
I don't know if we made fun of you necessarily.
Why don't you trust Ace? What did he do that made you not trust him?
We were just trying to make sure you had valid reason.
The very first 999 stream, you were like, I love Ace, he's
Exactly,
so handsome.
exactly.
And I was
Yeah.
laughing my ass off.
We all were.
Yep.
All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth twitching like a dying fish.
If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead. Tell me. I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, 7?
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure.
See, 7 is the goat.
7 cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down and his head dropped to look straight ahead at Junpei.
We can stop right here. It is 2:18.
Are you invested, Bea?
I'm invested every time, but
Don't you feel sad for the poor little billionaire? Don't you feel
No.
more likely to trust him now? Smiley
That's not his
face.
problem. But here's the thing: it still doesn't explain anything. It's
Yeah,
just an
that's why I
answer
let it
to
happen.
one question.
Yep. That's why you gotta keep playing.
I know.
That's why I said it was we were okay to continue on to this section instead of leaving it on a cliffhanger. Like,
I'm gonna lose.
what's
my
Junpei gonna
freaking
do?
mind.
Find
How do
out
we not
in a
do
month.
Ace Attorney next week. How do we do that?
Give a bunch of people tickets to a thing that they can't pass up so they can't be at the game?
I will give them
Do you want me to-
tickets to a signing with the OG voice actors for
Oh.
Ace Attorney, except not to you and Kay and Yoshi, I guess.
Beautiful.
Do you want me to do a favor and go like, oh no, guys, I can't come to the very first case for VA.
Sabotage
And then-
everything?
No, it's okay. We'll just have to wait for a million years until we can't play Ace Attorney.
Are you sure? I can sabotage us.
No,
I will
we don't
sabotage
need
us.
to do that.
Maybe
I
maybe
really enjoy it.
maybe since we're in kind of the end game sort of, maybe we can like set up a extra special Saturday stream or something one in the next couple of weeks or something maybe.
Oh, that would be so fun. We should totally do that.
Yeah, we could talk about it in the Discord and see if there's a day we can set that up.
Okay. Ah! I just don't want it to be like 6 months again, like it was last time.
No, I feel ya.
This is the only thing I'm gonna think about until the next time we stream. The good thing I'm not in school anymore, because I could see a severe performance dip.
Oh god, yeah. I feel that.
Is it mean? Okay, well.
I love
Yeah,
how after we opened the safe and talked to Ace for like 50 minutes, the first thing you said, "But where's Snake?"
Yeah, priorities, man, priorities.
Look, I need to know where he is, though, right? Because if that other person had the number 2 bracelet, first of all, how did they get it off of Snake? So he must be dead. He just died somewhere else. Who is this other person? Where is Snake's body? What the heck is going
A lot of unanswered questions.
on? You're telling me. Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go lose my mind and attend to today's responsibilities.
Have fun stewing over that while you do responsible adult things.
Responsibilities.
Responsibilities, yes.
Oh no, my name was Fabaeus. I'll scream. I should have been Zaya
That's
Escape
okay.
again. Oh well.
No worries.
Oh well.
Sorry.
Well, I guess we need to redo the stream.
Go all the
Let's
way
start
back.
over. Forget my responsibilities. Let's go. I don't need to go anywhere. I'll cancel it. Cancel the
There
plans.
Alrighty,
Oh
well,
my
thank you
God.
guys so much for joining us today, both in the chat and in the Discord. I'm going to raid Izzy, my friend Izzy. So she's starting Elden Ring, which I don't particularly care for, but I like Izzy. So come join us if you can. If not, no worries. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for joining us for Zero Escape. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. I'm gonna dip out, but I love you all very much. Have a blessed day/evening. And if you ever think of me, just know that I will be screaming and freaking out about Zero Escape
Bam.
and trying to figure out what's going on.
Hey, Bam. Hey,
Yeah.
Bam. Message me so I can help you with your mic.
Oh, okay, yeah, I will do that. I don't know if it'll be today, but it'll hopefully be sometime this week.
Okay.